that way. And I would like to thank everyone for joining us for the second FAST webinar titled Main Technology Learning Supports and How to Utilize Them. My name is Mary Stock, and I will be your technical assistant today. This session is being recorded and will be uploaded to the parent university website after the webinar. To help minimize noise and distractions, microphones will be silenced for all attendees. Before we get started, I want to walk through some tech tips to ensure everyone can easily navigate through this online platform. Everything in Zoom is customizable, so you may not see things exactly as I describe. What everyone should have is a black toolbar on the bottom of the screen. It should appear when you move your cursor. To ask questions, please use the Q&A feature, which is found by pressing the Q&A icon on the black toolbar. This is where you can submit questions, comments, and ideas tonight. We want to hear from you, so feel free to use the Q&A icon. Please be aware offensive and racial comments will not be tolerated. A warning will be given if this kind of behavior is detected, and if the behavior does not change after the warning, it will result in the participant being removed from the webinar. Next up is audio. The audio quality of this session is based on your individual internet connection. If you are worried about slow internet connection, we recommend you call in via phone. Resources mentioned during the webinar will be posted on the Parent University website after this webinar, and you will be sent a link. For this session, we will also have interpretation in Spanish. To access interpretation, on the bottom of your black toolbar, you should see an interpretation icon. Click on that, select your preferred language, and press mute your original audio. We do hope that tonight you will ask questions and offer comments and ideas. We'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can during the presentation. If we do run out of time, we'll do our best to post the remaining questions with answers on the website. Thank you again for joining us. I would like to hand it over to Ms. Maria Fernandez, our moderator for this evening.
Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Maria Fernandez, and I'm the coordinator for the Parent University with the Washoe County School District. Tonight, I would like to introduce you to our panelists. Denise Tregas, she is the CAPE Mathematics Facilitator for the school district. Stacy Trum, she is the K to 5th English Language Arts Program Facilitator. Sarah Cunningham, Northwest Regional Professional Development Program. Jessica Stepaniak, 21st Century Learning Program Specialist. Stacy Cooper, Coordinator of Extended Studies and Charter Schools Oversight. With no further ado, I will introduce you to Denise Tregas.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for being here tonight. To begin, if we could go to the next slide, please. Everything we demonstrate tonight will be using the Chrome browser. That is the preferred browser for these applications. Go ahead, next. In kindergarten and through first grade, so kindergarten and first grade, we have multiple tools available to families. Most of these tools will be shared with you by your child's classroom teacher. On the screen is the virtual classroom. This is a slideshow in which your child can click anywhere on the slide and open up different activities. So when I look at that, you could click the games that will take you to the applications. The pieces on the shelf will take you to student work that they could do at home. So additional workplaces was what those are called. And I'll be walking through how to log in and find these a little bit later in the presentation. Next, please. In addition, all families have access to a Math at Home site. On this site, you will see that there's activities for every grade level. In this case, we ask that you stay with kindergarten and first grade. Next. So to choose kindergarten activities, simply click on the K for kindergarten. That will open up the next page. At the top, you will see where you could select sets. And so there's a numbers to 5 set in this case and a numbers to 10. Next. This will open up activities that your child can click on. And so it includes additional activities than what they're doing in the classroom, but some of the activities will also match what they're doing in the classroom. If you're not sure what set to choose, you could simply ask your child's teacher. Next, please. At the bottom of this page, you will find where it talks about an old Math at Home website. Next, please. We actually ask that you do not click on these links, as this will take you to other companies in which we have not vetted those materials. And then Jenny, if I could have control. Perfect. Right. And so I just want to make sure that you can see this. And so looking at, we have the Washoe County School District website. If I click on departments and move to curriculum and instruction, over on this right-hand side, it says mathematics for kindergarten through 5th grade. This might be a little hard to see, but you can click on where it says family and community, and that is where you could link to the Math at Home activities. In addition to being on the Washoe County School District website through curriculum and instruction, this will also be added to the Family and School Partnerships website as well. And so that's just some of the resources that we could access for kindergarten and first grade. Now I would like to share a video with you for our 2nd through 5th graders and how to log into enVision.
Hi everyone, I'm Ben. I'm part of the elementary math team. Hi everyone, I'm Ben. I'm part of the elementary math.
For some reason, I am not hearing that. Well, let me just go ahead and.
Denise,
Yes.
we can actually hear it.
Oh, you can? I'm sorry,
give
I
Ryan the
cannot
mouse.
hear it.
You ready?
My apologies.
Okay, and he's going to take over. And the first thing you'll notice is that we're starting from the Washoe County School
You
District
need to
website,
pause the
and we always
video
look for
and
this.
share your screen again because we are not seeing the video now.
Thank you.
Use the student parent tab.
Here we go. And here's that video.
Hi everyone, I'm Ben. I'm part of the elementary math team in Washoe County, and I'm also a dad. This is Ryan.
Hi.
He's a 4th grader, and he has agreed to show us how he logs into enVision from home. We've had lots of questions from students and parents about the best way to do that, and so I thought we could do a quick tutorial with Ryan on how to log into enVision from home. So I'm going to give Ryan the mouse. You ready? Okay, and he's going to take over. And the first thing you'll notice is that we're starting from the Washoe County School District website, and we always look for this, use the student parent tab, right? Okay, so he'll click there, and then he's going to look for enVision Mathematics. There it is. That brings us to the big blue sign-in bar. Okay, hang on before you click that. If you look underneath the big blue sign-in bar, there's a reminder there. If you forget how to enter the username and password, you can look there. because as soon as you click this, you're going to have to sign in. Here, I'm going to show them something right here. There are two different ways you can sign in with the username. The first one is with the Washoe, the / student ID number, or student ID number at washoeschools.org. The password, that's unique for every student, and they set that at school. And if that needs to be reset, you'll have to contact the school for that. Okay, so we're going to go back. Okay, Ryan, go ahead and sign in. Okay, so Ryan's going to enter his student ID number. And then he asks me to help him with this part sometimes because sometimes spelling at washoeschools.org is tough. And if you misspell it, you never get in, huh?
Yeah, like if you spell Washoe with an A.
Yeah, that's right. So now he's going to enter his password. He won't tell me what his password is. So this part's all him. Okay, go ahead and click sign in. And that'll bring us to the EasyBridge site first. And so from here you can see things like the grade level, but what we are really looking for here is the F.A.S.T Realize over on the right hand side. Second button down.
Can I click it now?
Go ahead. And that'll bring us to Ryan's personal homepage for enVision.
Which one should I click first?
Alright, will you click on classes first?
Yes.
Most of the time our students will go to classes first because that is where they will find their assignments. So right here I see that Ryan has 3 assignments that are not started. He has 0 in progress, and he's got 2 that are completed. Don't click on that because we'll see your scores. Over here on the right hand side in classes, you can always find the student's workbook, the e-text. You can also find the Game Center, the glossary, and math tools. Okay, go back out to your home page. So click on the F.A.S.T Realize again. And will you click on the Browse? So something that will be helpful at home for students and parents is you have access to a lot of the lesson materials right here. And so just go ahead and click on topic 1, Ryan.
Okay.
So when he's in topic 1, we can see all of the lessons in here. And so if there's a lesson our students are working on, we can go and find some materials from that lesson. For example, we can find the student workbook, we can find the Solve and Share that starts the lesson, the visual learning animation, but we can also find the Another Look video. And those are really great for parents and students to watch together because they go through the lesson and give you a pretty good idea of what that lesson is about. Yeah. So that's a quick tutorial on how to log in. I hope you find it helpful. Bye.
So if you have any questions about logging into enVision at all, that video is available, and it will be available on the sign-in page itself. It is also available on our various websites to assist you. So let's jump in, and I would like to share just a few other features of what we can see in enVision as well. And so Ben really looked at this piece right here, which is the classes piece and all the information that's available in classes. If you click on this green browse button, what you will find is that every unit, your child has access to every unit of instruction. So you could jump into the topic that a child is in and to the lesson that the child is in. Here you could find even more resources to support you, in addition to these Another Look videos. If you would like the Another Look video in Spanish, you could download the F.A.S.T Bounce Page app, and that you could hover over a homework screen or any screen with a play button, and that will bring up a video, this video in English and in Spanish for you to choose. We have a few other resources, and Jenny, you could take it back to the PowerPoint. And so again, on that Washoe County School District website in the Family and Community page, we have additional resources for you to use. That's where the Bounce Page app is posted. Again, these resources will also be posted on other pages for your convenience as well. We also have a troubleshooting video. And so if you're having any trouble signing into enVision, you could just click that video and play that video. And now we're ready for question and answer.
Thank you, Denise. We really appreciate for you being here tonight. And for now, we will open it up for the questions that we have been receiving. Please note that we'll try our best to answer all of the questions tonight. And the questions that we don't have time for, we'll have answers on our website. So one of the questions we have is this for students attending school and doing distance learning periodically? Or is this just for some schools, Denise?
Thank you. This is for all Washoe County all Washoe County 2nd through 5th graders in regards to the enVision materials. So what I just showed, every child has access to that. The username will be your student's ID at washoeschools.org. The password, though, you will need to get from your child's teacher, as Ben talked about in the video.
So if I forgot my child's password, or my child forgot their password, can I call the school to get it?
Yes, you can call the school and ask for your child's district password.
And are there math virtual classrooms for grades 2nd through 5th?
There are not virtual classrooms for 2nd through 5th because we have that full digital pathway. And so everything you will need for a 2nd through 5th grader can be found right in that, that Realize tab and in those enVision materials.
All right, Denise, what about this question? Is an in-person student supposed to use enVision at home or only while they're at school?
They can do it for both while they're at school and also at home. You'll find more and more of the teachers who are teaching at school will start sending some activities for use at home. And that's really helpful on days when we have a full distance learning day for all students, that students with technology can still access these materials at home.
Right. So for a participant type that recently assessing enVision from Clever has not been working, what should we do when that happens?
Yeah. So the best thing to do is to, we actually suggest that all students log in through the district websites. So Washoe County, that Students and Parent tab, and enVision. And if you want, Maria, I can show that real quick again, just so that they know where that looks like. It was in Ben's video as well.
That would be great. Can you also do it in one of the requests is if you can do it in a slower version so people can see where you're going, please?
Absolutely. And then I just need control. Thank you. All right. So from the school district webpage, just click here, and let me actually grab an annotate tool just so that you can see. And so you just click here, Students and Parents, scroll down to enVision Mathematics, and then you will click right here that says Sign In. We are updating this page, and so that video of how to sign in and also the troubleshooting video will be on this page. When you click sign in, you're not going to see this because I'm in a school district computer. It will bring up another box that asks for your federated ID. And so that's where at home, your child is going to have to put in that student ID at washoeschools.org and then the password from the school. Once they get in, then that's when it will take them to a login page. It looks something like this. And so when they log in. Now, teachers have the ability to change this to a primary version. So if your child does not see this, please do not panic, but this is the default page. And so once here, the child could choose classes, and all their assignments will again be right on this page. Right. And so if you could see, like I have 3 in progress and I've got 3 completed and nothing currently assigned. What's really nice about this page is even if your child doesn't have assignments, feel free to come in and play with the math tools. Right. So there's a bunch of math tools here that students can play with. You can also play math games as well. And let me just show an example of what these look like. And so all the tools a child might use physically in the classroom, they have access to at home.
Okay, thank you for showing that, Denise.
You're welcome.
Can you talk about, there's a participant that would like to know about the troubleshooting guide again. So I think they're referring to the troubleshooting video that was briefly mentioned. Is there a way you can show us where to find it?
I can. We will be posting that on that sign-in page. So let me just take you back to the Washoe County, I'm sorry, the website. And so where you will find that, oops, that's not. Where you will find that is right on the Washoe County website. And so when you go to our Washoe County website, let me just open up a tab here. And I could just type in washoeschools.net. On the students and parents, and then enVision Math, right on this sign-in sheet within the next couple days, you will find that troubleshooting video. And feel free, you could reach out to me at any time via email, and I'm more than happy to assist at home as well. In fact, if you look on this website, right here, that link links to my email. And so again, at any times for grades 2nd through 5th, you can email me if you're having any trouble logging in, and I'll assist you with that.
All right, I think we have time for one more. So we have a question about, are they any additional, and not sure if you can respond to this one, but I'll just put it out there if any other panelists know. Are there any additional resources for full distance learners with an IEP or 504?
So for mathematics, we could definitely assist with that. And so again, please feel free to reach out to me directly, and I could share some of the tools that might be very beneficial. In addition, I could share some documents that might assist as well. I would rather do that one-on-one just to ensure that it's personalized for your child.
That sounds good. Thank you so much, Denise, for being here tonight. Again, if your question wasn't answered tonight, we'll find the answer for you and put it on the website.
And next,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Next up, we have my counterpart for English Language Arts, and that's Stacy Drum.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stacy Drum. I work with K through 5 English Language Arts in curriculum and instruction. And if we could just advance the slide. Thank you. I'm going to talk about 2 different things tonight, but they work together. The first thing is called Clever, and you can see that on this slide. Clever, the way I describe Clever, it's a bridge, or it's like a buffet table. And when you pull up and sit at the buffet table, there are different plates or different apps that you can access for your student. Clever allows your student to log in one time and access several different apps. In order for your child to access Clever, there are different ways for them to get in. One of the first ways is if you look over on the right side, you'll see a QR code that says Clever. that is the Clever Badge login. If your student has a smartphone or an iPad or anything else that has a camera on it, and your teacher has given them a Clever badge, they can scan that and that will log them into Clever, into that table immediately. They won't have to enter anything else. If, however, you don't have a camera available, you can still log in. You would go up to the Login with Active Directory, which is in this same slide with the 4 different colors on it. You would click on that and use the same login information that Denise just described for math. Another way that, if you could advance the slide, another way to log in is, again, going to the Washoe Schools website. And I'm going to, if you could let me share the screen, thank you. And of course, nothing that I have is showing up. Okay. I'm getting there. There it is. Okay. So if you go to the Washoe Schools website and you go to students and parents, just like Denise described, you scroll down to Clever Login, which is right here. And it will bring up that same screen that I showed you on the previous slide. So they can log in with the URL, which is clever/in/Washoe, which was on the previous slide. You can log in through the student parent website portion of the Washoe Schools website, or you can have them log in with their QR code, which the teacher would issue to them, and they can scan that. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Go ahead and stop sharing. There. Okay, we can bring the slides back up, please. Perfect, thank you. So 3 ways to log in: through the URL, through the parent website, and then again through the QR code, or what they call the Clever badge. And if we could advance to the next. Okay. So Clever, again, is that buffet table. So we have now logged into Clever, and then you and your student will be able to see the apps that are available for your child on the screen. So I'm going to share my screen in a minute and show you different apps that a student has. This student that I just took a screenshot of has access to Benchmark Education, which is the K-5 English Language Arts materials for Washoe County School District. Discovery Education, which your teacher may use in class. EverFi, which is another app. And then MyOn, which Sarah is going to talk to you about in a few minutes. I'm going to talk about Benchmark since it's the English Language Arts materials. So if we could go to the next slide. Oh, sorry, go to the next slide. There we go. All right, so I have a student. This is what a student would see if they clicked on that Benchmark app that was on the previous slide. It would bring up their login dashboard. And on their dashboard, you can see that they have their library. They have a reading log. They can see if their teacher has created and sent out any assignments to them, and an inbox where they may have messages or other things from their teacher. Also, students love this feature. They can change their background. I just have a solid background on this, but there's other backgrounds that they can check. You and your student can look at the profile settings, and then they have the option of signing out. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. I'm just logging in really quickly. Okay, oops, sorry. It's not working right. Hold on just a second. Okay. So now I'm going to share. So I am accessing, actually my nephew, his family gave me permission to share his portal. He's a 5th grader, but all of the portals look very much the same. So when your student gets into Clever, however they log in, they would then click on the Benchmark Education app. And it will bring up that dashboard that I showed you on a previous slide. Students can check to see if they have any assignments by clicking on assignments. I can see here that Stephen does not have any assignments right now. If he did, they would be listed here in the middle. He could see how many he has not started. There would be due dates on there. He could see how many he has in progress. So if it's a longer assignment that's going to take several days and he hasn't finished, he can continue working on it. And then when he completes an assignment, he can see how many have been completed. Oops. Going back. So after we've looked at the assignments, we can also get into his library. The library is what holds all of his materials so that he can get into those himself. He doesn't have to be assigned something to access materials in his library. So I'm going to click on his library. Benchmark requires a lot of clicking and moving around. The more students can practice with it, the better. So I'm going to go over here under his library. These are his ebooks. So these are books that he can access. It says English and Spanish. Only certain schools have access to the Spanish materials, and those are the schools with the 2-way immersion classes. That would be Jessie Beck, Donner Springs, and Mount Rose. So I have access to both of these, but the Spanish key will not work unless you're at one of those 3 schools. So I'm gonna just click English. He's in 5th grade, so I'm gonna reduce the amount of things that I see on the screen. And then I can scroll through and look at all of his different books. So these are the small books that he can just sit and read. His teacher can also assign these to him. If the teacher assigned one of these books, he could find it in his assignments section. I can go up here and just pull up all of his materials, Benchmark Advance, click on 5th grade. They're in Unit 1 right now. And here is his text for close reading, or that paper magazine that you may have seen come home or you saw in class last year if your students were here. You can always click on it, open it, and he can access all of his pages. If he wants to customize, he would put a title here and click yes. That would allow him to annotate these pages and save them so that his teacher could then see them. Today, we're not going to save it. And I can go through. These pages can be read to him by clicking on the audio, the play button. It will highlight for them and give them access to all their stories. An example is that today my mom called because she was watching my nephew while my brother and sister-in-law were at work, and she said, we're supposed to access this story in Benchmark and we don't have a hard copy at home. How do we get in? So I walked them through and he was able to read the story and have it read to him, and he was able to do his work by accessing through Benchmark. Okay, I'm gonna go back. The other things that he has access to without them being assigned to him is an e-pocket chart, which is just a chart where he can play with words or something like that. It's not something that a lot of 5th graders play with. However, I know some of our primary students enjoy getting into these. He can also get into his leveled texts for the unit. And the same thing with the leveled texts. They're able to open those up. They can be read to them by pushing on the play. He can customize it if he wanted to do some annotations. To annotate, he would just push this little sidebar and he could write some notes. I'm annotating. The way to save it is he would have to push that he was customizing at the beginning. So there's a lot of information that goes with Benchmark. Teachers have access to frequently asked questions pages and some short video clips that they can send to you. If you contact your child's teacher and say, where can I get these video clips that I learned about? Tell them to contact me, Stacy Drum, and I can send them the clip. We have made them available to teachers, but there's so much to keep track of. I know that sometimes things get lost a little bit. Okay, so if we could bring up my PowerPoint again, please. Mary, thank you so much. Okay, and we can advance it to the next slide. So I just talked about the table Clever, where you can enter to get different apps. One of the apps I talked about was Benchmark, and now here is Sarah to talk about another app that your students have access to, which is MyOn.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Cunningham. Thank you, Stacy, for the introduction. I just am going to take just a few minutes to share, again, a different app that your child has access to. So this is, if you can envision, a digital library at your fingertips. This is not the core curriculum. It is a supplement that was actually purchased by the Nevada Department of Education for every child in the state. So again, it's accessed through that Clever portal. So once your student gets into the portal, they can select MyOn. And I'm going to share my screen if I can have permission to do so. And I'd like to show you a resource that we will make available to families. This is a condensed version of many resources for families regarding literacy, reading, and specifically MyOn. So again, this first section goes over how to access through Clever. We also have included these hyperlinks. So when you see this blue part here, you can click on it and it will have additional documents about MyOn. We also have, you'll see here some videos to introduce you to MyOn. And there is an elementary version and a secondary version because MyOn is actually available for students pre-K through 12th. And I'm going to show you here a demo account in a moment so you can see what it looks like. You will also see there are some family guides, additional resources and tips to help you. And similar to Benchmark, there is just a wide variety of tools and resources that can be a bit overwhelming for students and families, but it really allows an opportunity for students to have choice in reading. So I'm going to share now. Again, this is a demo account. This, when you look in here to MyOn, when your child initially logs in, they'll actually be given a reading assessment. It's fairly short, and as a result, they'll give each child a Lexile level or a reading level that gives an approximate idea of where your child is reading. I know when my daughter took the test, it actually came out a little lower than her reading level. However, that doesn't limit her selection of text. So she still has the availability of text that can be up to 50 Lexile points below where she assessed or 100 above. And actually, after she completes 5 books, she's assessed again. So it varies from time to time. And really, again, the main purpose is just to allow children the opportunity to read. And that is what's so great about this program. So when you click on your child, once they've taken the assessment and they click on library, what they're going to see is similar to what Stacy shared. However, this is just a variety of books. And they have recommended books. So when you think of Netflix, when you watch a particular show, then they'll offer similar shows or topics based on what you watched. It will do something similar here. And also when your child initially logs in, they take an interest inventory. So my daughter really likes sports and animals, so she typically has a lot of sports and animal books that are offered for her to read. Now, this is a demo account, so these are primary books, not, oh, my daughter's a 5th grader, so she has a lot of chapter books that she has been offered to share. But even if, say, something's on here that isn't necessarily she's interested in, she can still browse other books by topics. So right here, we see there are over 14,000 titles that are available for free. So again, my daughter really likes animals, so she might select this and pets, and then she can just start browsing. And once she finds a book she's interested in, she can select the read button and again can decide. Some of the books have audio and others she can read to herself. There are many, many books that are in Spanish and multiple languages as well. Another feature is the MyOn News, and these are exactly that, news articles. On the front page, you'll see at least 5 brand new news articles each day. Oftentimes, most times, these articles are relevant to science and social studies. So it's great to make that connection to whatever your child may be learning about in school. They can also select an article. Now, what you'll see here on the front are the newest ones, and there's also an opportunity to look at many more. Again, if you see, you can scroll down, and I think here there are over 4,000 articles on this page right now. You can search by topic or theme, and once your child finds something he or she is interested in, this is kind of what it looks like. The articles are brief and a short quiz at the end. There are also quizzes at the end of the books. However, schools do have the option to turn off those quizzes as well. Because again, the big idea here with MyOn is just to really promote volume of reading and choice for students. It's not intended to be the core curriculum. That is what Benchmark is for, and the other curriculums in Washoe. However, this is just an opportunity to keep practicing reading, being read to. My daughter is a strong reader, but she loves when the books are read to her. This you will see on the side, again, can be in Spanish. These articles can be read to you, and there's some additional features as well. So I hope you learned something new and can find MyOn as a good resource, especially on these distance days and you want to keep your kid engaged. This is a great resource. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Stacy and Sarah. We appreciate that you had the time to be here with us. So we have, again, lots of questions for you, and we'll try our best to answer all. The first question that we have here is, how are these materials being used as part of in-person learning or full distance learning?
So for benchmark materials, which is the core curriculum, they're used in both. I know that in person, some teachers are also mixing it up and using devices in class so that students know how to log on and access their assignments. But there are also hard copy materials that they use in class. For distance learning, I think for most distance learning, it is sent out by the teacher as assignments in Benchmark. And also I have heard that some students do have hard copies of the consumable magazine, which is really the workbook, at home.
Great. Thank you, Stacy. The next question we have here is, for the library, can my child access other grades for reading?
I'm not sure if this is for Benchmark or for MyOn, but for Benchmark, students have access to all the grade levels, the text for all of the grade levels. However, since this is our core curriculum, which is our Tier 1 grade level curriculum, we're asking that students stay in their grade level unless they want to read other books in independent reading. That's totally fine. But as far as what's assigned by the teacher, it should be the grade level texts, because we want students to be able to learn the content and the skills for their grade level. I know, Sarah, you want to talk about MyOn?
Sure. With MyOn, again, students have access to most grade levels. There is an ability to limit that, again, thinking about age appropriateness. We don't want our first graders having access to 11th grade text all the time just because of the content. But it really is about choice. This is the area for independent reading for any student who would like to access it.
Sarah, a follow-up question. We have parents asking, how do you get into MyOn?
You would get into MyOn the same way you, Stacy demonstrated, to get into Benchmark. So you're going to find that Clever login tab through the website with students and parents. Go into Clever, plug into that 7-digit student ID at washoschools.org. And when you get into that Clever portal, you're going to see that MyOn app. You click right on it.
Right, perfect. We have, and we'll put the information in the website as well, so you can have access to it after this. One more question. What if my child is not able to type into the book or assignment?
Okay, so that does happen. I hear that. There could be a few things going on. One of the things might be that the student is not accessing the assignment correctly and making it, customizing it before they actually go in and annotate. They have to customize right at the beginning. The other thing that we're finding is what Denise mentioned at the very beginning. Chrome is the browser that works best with these apps. So we're finding that if some students are accessing their materials through a different browser, they're having a hard time getting the materials to do what the company intends for them to do. So if this is a question from a parent, please contact your child's teacher and then they can get in contact with me. If this is a teacher, please feel free to reach out to me. We can do a Teams meeting or something like that, and I can take a look at what's happening and dial it in a little bit more.
When you said customize it, so for example, my child, if she's working on a lesson 4 for school or homework number 4, when she goes in there for the customization, does she puts her name on it, or does she puts homework number 4 for Esther, we'll say?
So she can just put, homework number 1, or however the teacher has sent it out to her is how she's going to customize it. A lot of this, some of the steps get skipped if the teacher pushes it out as an assignment.
Right. I think we're running out of time, but there's one that, because we invited middle school and high school families for the next 2 topics, so I would like to ask this question. Is MyOn and Benchmark, can they be used for middle school?
Benchmark is only K through 5, and only elementary schools have access to the online materials.
And MyOn is available to all students pre-K through 12.
I think we're going to stop here because we really want to honor the time of the rest of the panelists and the participants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And next we have Jessica, who's going to talk about Microsoft Teams.
Good evening, everyone. I can share my screen. The first thing that I wanted to talk about tonight was one thing that some students are struggling with, and that is with logging into Microsoft Teams from home. So there are two ways to access Microsoft Teams from a computer. There's the Microsoft Teams app, which is the desktop version, and that is usually found if a student is using a Washoe County School District device. Then they can find their Microsoft Teams icon is usually sitting right on the desktop. The other way to access Microsoft Teams is through the internet browser. And Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome are the best internet browsers to use. So if we type in teams.microsoft.com, that will take us to a login page. And so your student uses their student ID at washoeschools.org to log in to Microsoft Teams. And then their password is that unique password that they have created. If they don't remember their password, or if their password needs to be reset for some reason, please make sure that you contact your student's teacher and they'll be able to help you. We really encourage all of the students to use the desktop application for Microsoft Teams. It has more functionality than the web version. And if you are on the web version, you can download the desktop application. In this section over here on the left, there will be a little message that says download the app. And you can download it right there. The next thing that I wanted to talk about tonight was that you can actually change the language settings in Microsoft Teams. So if English is not your first language, you can change the language setting to whatever your home language is. So to access the language settings, you want to click on either your student's picture, or they might just have their initials up here in the top, and we'll click on that and we'll go to settings. In the settings screen, if we scroll down, we'll see language. The great thing about this is that you can not only change the language of the application itself, and there are many, many, many choices. Even for our Spanish-speaking families, there are many different dialects of Spanish to choose from. You can also change the keyboard language as well. So for some of our different languages that have accent marks or things like that, being able to utilize the keyboard in that language is very helpful. So if we changed our language to Spanish here, you would have to save and restart the application for it to take effect. But then everything on the screen here, everything here that says general, posts, files, class notebook, all of our things over here where this now says English, all of those things would now be in that language. Now, if your student didn't want to change the language for your entire Microsoft Teams, but maybe just wanted to read or listen to a message, one of the posts, something in class notebook, something like that, they could actually click on the message itself And on the right-hand side, there are 3 little dots. We call those the ellipses. And it says more options. So when we click on that, you can use Immersive Reader. You can also click on Translate from here as well. But if you would like to listen to the message, you can click on Immersive Reader. And then Immersive Reader can read the message to the students. And this also works in the assignments. It works with, again, you know, Microsoft Word has the Immersive Reader built in. It is a very, very great tool. And up in here in the reading preferences, our little library book, if we click on that, this is where we can also change the language. So your student can actually listen to the directions of an assignment, the message in a post, or anything like that. They could have it read to them in their home language. So that is a very, very useful tool. Another thing that some students are still struggling with is where to find their assignments. And many teachers are doing many different things. Some of our younger grade teachers are assigning assignments through enVision, like Denise Tracus talked about tonight. So when they open up their enVision website, they have their mathematics assignments right there within that website. Other teachers are using Microsoft Teams to assign their assignments. So under assignments, this is the easiest place for students to find out what's due. All of their assignments are listed here. Assignments that they've had returned to them are under returned. And once again, they can go in, view their assignment. If they need to listen to the directions for the assignment, they can use the little library book in the upper right-hand corner. This is the Immersive Reader icon. They can click on that. It will read the instructions to them. And once again, if we would like to read it in a different language, we can do that too. So, we know that many of our students are using tablets or mobile phones for their Teams assignments. Be sure to download the Teams app if you're using a mobile device, either a tablet or a phone. That is the best way to utilize Teams and really be able to complete those assignments successfully. Also, many of our teachers are using the OneNote class notebook for a lot of content delivery, and they will have assignments that are actually within. They will still, the students will still access their assignments under the assignments tab, but their assignment could be attached to a OneNote class notebook OneNote page. And so if you are on a mobile device, either a tablet or a phone, you would also want to download the OneNote app, just like the Teams app. And all of these are free to download. And again, the student would log in with their district credentials once they downloaded those applications. But if you are opening Teams and going to your assignment, if the assignment is linked to the OneNote class notebook here, then it will automatically access the OneNote app that you've downloaded on your mobile device and allow the students to do all of the things that they need to do in order to complete their assignments. So I have found a short little video that talks about how if you are on a mobile device, you can turn in your assignments, and there are several ways to add work to your assignments, and you could use the same method if you were on a computer and using Microsoft Teams as a mobile device. But this short video explains how to add that extra work.
Jessica, we are having a hard time hearing your audio on your video.
It's not working.
It was not.
Oh, here we go. I got it figured out.
Be showing how a student can use Microsoft Teams Mobile to turn in assignments, add work, photos, and even videos. So first off, I'm going to tap on assignments on the bottom here. And here's my assignment list as a student. And I'm going to open up this assignment right here and tap. Now you can see there's instructions, there's a place to add work, and there's even the immersive reader. So if I need help reading instructions, I'll click immersive reader. And I've got all the great things of immersive reader, like read aloud.
Evaluate the expressions Friday homework 5.
I can do all the same things in immersive reader. I can get a picture dictionary. I can do things like spacing, change the background. I'm not going to go through the full demo. I'll go back. Now, let's say I finished my assignment and I want to attach my work. First off, I'll click Add Work right here with the paperclip, and I'm going to go to OneDrive, and I'll select my algebra problem set document, and there, it's attached. Now I can also add photos or videos. So let's say I want to add a photo of my math homework. I'm going to click Add Work, and then Upload from this device, and choose Take Photo or Video. Now I can just go and snap a photo right here, use photo, and I've attached my photo of the homework. I can even add a video. A lot of people don't know that. I'm going to add work again, and we'll do upload from this device, take photo or video. I'll switch to video, turn the camera on myself. Hey, I had a couple challenges with the last 2 problems on the problem set. I'm just attaching a video to let you know. And I say use video, and I've attached my video. So I have all these pieces of work attached, and in the upper right, I click turn in. And hey, look at that, there's a turn-in celebration, even on mobile. So that is a quick tour of Microsoft Teams Mobile and how students can turn in assignments and attach work. If you found this video
So once again, teachers are using lots of different ways for students to complete assignments, but that is one way that students can complete their assignments and turn in their work. You can use your mobile device, a tablet, or you can use the computer with Microsoft Teams. Definitely want to encourage, again, the use of the desktop application is best. And if you have questions, if your student is having struggles with logging in, navigating the team, knowing where their assignments are, knowing where to find the content, please be sure to reach out to your teacher because they are here to help you. So that concludes my time for this evening. Now we'll have time to answer some questions.
Thank you, Jessica. I want to remind our participants that at this moment, we're not using the raise hand function. So please, if you have a question, put it on the Q&A section and we'll try our best to answer it tonight. Here are the most popular questions for you, Jess. The first one is, we're still having trouble typing on Teams assignments. Any ideas for that?
I think it depends on what device that you could be using, or what the actual assignment is. If it's a Word document or if it's a OneNote page. So without being able to see it, I would definitely just reach out to your teacher, and then your teacher can help you brainstorm, and your teacher can reach out to other folks in the district for some troubleshooting help as well.
Thanks. We have one more here. This is where my son struggles under assignments. The teacher will post the homework. For example, they will post a PowerPoint and we'll need to add text. It is hard to read and we're having a hard time saving it.
Sometimes the best thing to do is you could print the page. If you have access to a printer, you could print the page out and then have your student write on the page, and then you could take a picture of that page and add work and turn it in for your assignment. That's one workaround. Another workaround could be to download the PowerPoint to your actual computer and then be able to make your changes there and then go ahead and just upload it when you're finished as work and then turn it in that way. So those are just two workarounds.
Will it be possible tonight for you to show us how do we download an assignment so we can work on it at home?
I can, let me try. So if I go into one of these assignments, so the assignment is listed here, and there's always these three little dots. So you can either open in Teams, open in OneNote, or open in OneNote online. This assignment happens to be from a OneNote class notebook page. So if I opened it in OneNote, or even OneNote online, it opened up my, I can right click, no I can't. I can double click on the file that it shows here, and then I can say download, because it says, would you like to download a copy? So I could download that, and it would be in my downloads folder of my computer, which in Windows Explorer here, in File Explorer, if I double click downloads, it would be right here in my downloads folder. So that's one example. There is also, if we had a Word document, oops, didn't want to edit. If we have a Word document, again, I can open it. Now with a Word document, it actually gives you the option to download it straight from the assignment screen right here. So once again, I can click download. And then if I open up my File Explorer, it will be right there in my downloads folder. Those are the most common file types that you would see within an assignment. But if it was a PowerPoint, it would be the exact same way.
Thank you so much, Jessica. That's all we have for you tonight.
Great, thank you.
So now next we have Stacy Cooper. She will talk to us about EDGENUITY, which is being used for middle school and high school students. Welcome, Stacy.
Hi, good evening. I hope everyone's having a good night. And I am here today to speak to you all regarding EDGENUITY. EDGENUITY is our online learning platform for all grades 6 through 12. This is not a new application for Washoe County School District, but what it is a tremendous support for both teachers and Washoe County School District students. This year, because of the COVID pandemic, we actually are offering 2 forms of EDGENUITY. One is EDGENUITY as a hybrid workbook to help support your students when they are in the classroom and they are on their off days at home and need to complete extra assignments. The other approach for EDGENUITY is for our full-time distance education. So what I would like to do first for all of you is show you where you can find all of your resources pertaining to EDGENUITY. The most common access for the most demanding parent tools are located on our WashowSchools.net website. If you access our WashowSchools.net website, you can find the information pertaining to EDGENUITY on our departmental page, the Extended Studies Department. You can click on the department's key. You can scroll down and find Extended Studies, which actually refers to everything outside of the typical school building. So we offer many supports, not just distance learning. When you open our departmental page, you can come over here to the right where you see EDGENUITY Student Support, and you can click on the EDGENUITY Student Support. And the whole page is dedicated to parent and student resources on how to log in, on what do I do if I need help, how do I know what my grade is, how do I receive email progress for my child's reports online, even offering tutorials on how to lead students to understanding, accessing, and doing well in EDGENUITY as an online tool. At the bottom of our page, we have multiple strategies for success in online, organizing tips, how to take notes in the online classroom, how is grading completed in our online learning, and even how to save and exit assignments. So this is an excellent resource for all of our students and families. The biggest and most popular question we receive in our office is how to log on to our distance education platform. Students can access the direct link to signing into their EDGENUITY right here, embedded within our website. And if you hover your mouse over it, you can see the pointer turn to a finger where you can click and open the forum, which I will do here shortly. All students, their username is their student ID at washowschools.org. And just like you've heard previously with all of our other presenters, your students should use their district password to log into EDGENUITY. And if they forget their password, they can communicate that to their school and they can have that password reset for them. It's the same password you've heard for Clever, MyOn, all the other forums you've heard about this evening. It's the same username and the same password for accessing EDGENUITY online. When your child accesses their online platform, they're exposed to what I refer to as their dashboard. A student's dashboard would look like this when they sign on. And it would offer all the courses that they are to work on each day from a home computer or their home site or their own laptop or district device. A key piece for you as a parent is to notice this percentage here. The percentage gives you an indication of how well your child is doing in their online for each of the content areas. In this example right here, it shows you that the student is doing 78%, which is almost a B for the quality of the student's work. It also tells you that the student is 86% complete with their course, but they are behind on their trajectory to finishing the course. It's important for you as a parent to look over your child's shoulder and check their overall grade, as well as their percentage towards completion. When you sign on to EDGENUITY, let me get my EDGENUITY screen open. For some reason it closed. When you sign in or your child signs in to EDGENUITY, they will see a dashboard with all their courses, and they will also see some key announcements like you're seeing displayed here. If there's any important communication from their classroom teacher, it would be displayed here on the first dashboard prior to them opening their classes. Up in the right-hand corner, and this is an excellent support opportunity for parents and students, there's a support tab called Help Center. If you click on Help Center, resources open up for fundamentals, teacher resources, and down at the bottom, you can even click on parent resources that are offered in both English and Spanish. Here's an example of some of the common support documents in both English and Spanish, which helps provide support on how to communicate with your teachers, how to get help from EDGENUITY if you are having problems navigating your course or you've encountered a tech problem. And there's even what I like to refer to as the most important document of support of all, is looking at your child's progress. And it details for you how to interpret and understand a progress report when it comes to your attention in email or in mail at home. Our department, the Extended Studies Department, not only helps our families for online learning, but we also support families wanting to research about homeschool, charter school resources, and other community supports and agencies that work closely with the Family School Partnership Department. So I really encourage all parents to contact me if they have any questions regarding their child's online learning, if they need any technical support, or if they need any guidance and understanding or communicating with their child's teacher in the online platform. It is important to note, I thoroughly appreciate our interpreters being here today, but I also speak Spanish. So you have the ability to contact my office and speak to me in Spanish in regards to your child's understanding or your child's questions in the online platform. Matter of fact, a little known resource about EDGENUITY is your child, if they are bilingual and their first language is in Spanish or any other primary language around the world, they can convert their entire lesson structures into their native language all the way up until the exam. So that is a great fundamental key for all of you that want to work with your children at home in their native language. There's a lot of information in regards to EDGENUITY that is too much to really share for this parent introduction tonight. But I do want you all to know that we are here as a resource to support and answer any questions that you have. That completes my portion of the small tutorial of EDGENUITY. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help you at this time.
Thank you, Stacy. That was a great presentation about EDGENUITY. Here's the first question that we have for you. In the unit test for computer science and applications, after the unit test is taken, unlike quizzes, EDGENUITY does not allow the student to review the results and be able to see the correct answers to any questions that they might have answered wrong. Could this be corrected?
Yes, it can be corrected. We had a high mountain of courses to prepare at the beginning of this school year, right up until the first week of school, to ensure that all of our students had access to not just general curriculum, but honors and advanced placement. So in that push, there may have been some human errors. It is our intent that the student has the ability to review what they missed on their unit tests so that they can build upon that knowledge to prepare for the final exam. So please communicate to your teacher in email what course you are experiencing this problem and specifically what unit test, and we can correct that at our end.
Thank you, Stacy. Here's the next question. Is there a separate parent portal to log in and view progress?
The parent progress, if you are not receiving it electronically via email, can be activated for your child so that you can get a daily, weekly, or monthly progress report on your child's academic progression in their online learning. So please contact your school online teacher and request to have your email activated to receive that progress report. You can also contact our office, and our office number is 353-6990. Again, 353-6990, and request to have your parent progress email activated, and I will get that accomplished for you.
Thank you. Here's your next question. Why are parents and students not able to view their actual grade? We're only sent their overall grade.
That is an excellent question, and we are changing that. Right before the October break, a parent is going to be able to look over their child's shoulder and see both the overall grade and the actual grade. The difference between the two is the overall grade, which is what we currently see, reflects the quality of the student's work, but does not take into consideration whether they are on track to finish the course on time. The actual grade takes that timeline of progression into effect and gives you an indication of what your child's overall actual grade is in relationship to the end of the term. Ideally, your overall grade and the actual grade should come to match by the time your child reaches the end of the academic term. But it's important for our parents to see both. So we are making that adjustment, and you will see that adjustment happen over our fall break.
Thanks, Stacy. We have another great question here. These are all great questions for tonight. And again, if we don't get to your question tonight, you'll receive an answer via the Parent University website, where we're going to be posting all of the answers. Next question is, in some EDGENUITY sections, my son has noticed that the guided notes references sections like instructions or summary that doesn't exist in the course timeline. Is some coursework possibly missing?
That is a great question, Maria. As you heard me say a few minutes ago, when we were on a rush to put together these courses and get them publicized for our families and students, we did make some adjustments to the course structures. So there may be some incidences where the guided notes do not ideally match the structure of the course. Please share that with your instructional teacher or our office, and we can make that adjustment, because those type of technical issues do need to be corrected.
Thank you, Stacy. Here's another one related to guided notes. Are students allowed to use the guided notes for in-person final exams? Not sure if guided notes counts as handwritten notes.
Excellent question. Yet again, our final exams must be proctored. It is to the discretion of the school principal how they intend to proctor the final exams. But please communicate with your students that they are permitted to use their guided notes, e-notes, typed notes, handwritten notes, scripts from the lesson in English or in Spanish can all be used and brought to the final exam. It's not about how much the student can memorize. It's about, can they resource what they have learned? And that is the important platform of consideration for our final exams. You will be, as parents, receiving guidance from your schools not soon after, not late, not soon or not late, it's getting late, not long after the October break. You will be receiving final exam guidance from your schools not long after October break.
Thank you, Stacy. Here's another great question. Are world languages available on EDGENUITY?
World languages are available in EDGENUITY. However, we have noticed, and I'm a Spanish teacher myself of trade, that the quality and the rigor of the world language offerings in EDGENUITY do not meet the level of expectation that we want for our biliteracy diploma candidates, and do not fare well in preparing students for upper language skill sets. So it is a shortcoming. We are not entirely impressed with the world language, but we are offering it because we want to be able to keep our students on track to graduation.
Thank you, Stacy. And here is the last question of the night, just to honor the time that we had allotted for this webinar. Can you talk about, could a student switch to EDGENUITY if they are receiving medical treatments and need to be home?
That is a great question that we have been discussing, because our Board of Education, our Board of Trustees, have communicated publicly that the parents have the right and choice to move their child from a blended learning hybrid classroom model to full distance education. We haven't spoken too much about the blended model outside of my introduction, but that blended model can serve as an independent course in the event that the student falls ill or is out for an extended period of time due to medical treatment. So we don't necessarily have to consider changing the platform entirely for the student, but revisiting their current supplemental resource that they are working through with their teacher in the classroom to ensure that that teacher provides additional work for them to help offset the structural needs of the blended learning domain. So there are two options that the family can consider in this situation. They can continue with the blended learning with remote support from their school, or we can transition the student into a full-time independent learning pathway of EDGENUITY.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So we'll finishing up by doing a couple of announcements for tonight. So first of all of the resources that you heard about tonight, you will receive an email immediately after this webinar with a link to, for a follow-up survey and also to access those resources. Finally, we wanted to share another opportunity for you to learn more about technology. October 1st, we will have our Thursday Tech Tips for Families live broadcasted on the district's Facebook page, as well as live stream on the district's YouTube channel. The English version begins at 5 p.m. and the Spanish version at 6 p.m. Also, the next FAST webinar will be on November 18 at 6 p.m. That's all we have for you tonight. Thank you for your time and have a good night.